Hi, everybody. It is Kathy, and I love to be selling. Come on in, sellers. I have tested one of eBay's tools, and I am here to give you results. And this is actually something I've been reading about, and I've been looking at posts from different sellers because I always like to hear a variety of opinions. But I do like to test things myself. Again, I always love getting feedback from everybody, but I really find so often, you really want to test things yourself. This goes for promoted listings rates. It goes for inventory sourcing. Again, you do your research, you listen to people that you trust, but bottom line is you test it yourself. So let me know that you can hear me. Come on in. And I'm going to let you know what I've been testing. So eBay has a feature called Time Away, and they've had it now for, I think it's probably about a year, if I remember correctly. Some people still call it the vacation setting, just so that you don't get confused. And I am going to date this. This is July of 2021, in case there's some kind of update that comes along. But if you are listening to older podcasts or older YouTubes, and if you listen, we get to listen to New York City. And if you hear people talk about vacation settings, in the past, it was only available for eBay stores. And very nicely, eBay has now made this available to all sellers. You do not need a store to use what is called the time away function. And there's a couple of different ways to use it. And so I'm going to let you know. And I actually played around with a couple of things while I was using it. And I will give you the tips on that too. So in the past, you had vacation settings. Only eBay stores had it. And what that meant was if you were going to be traveling or time away from your eBay business, or you had a personal situation, like for instance, a lot of you know, I first started selling on eBay when I was taking care of my mom. So for instance, if I knew my mom was going in for an operation and I wasn't going to be able to be timely with my shipping for, let's say, 3 or 4 days or 5 days, I would put my store on vacation. But only eBay store owners had this option. People without eBay stores, a lot of them would just end their listings. I mean, there are a lot of different things you could do. But anyway, only eBay store owners had vacation settings in the past. So if you're listening to an older YouTube or podcast and you hear people talking about that, just know that is no longer the case. And in case you don't do this, when you are listening to information or reading people's blogs, and there's a lot of great information out there, always check the date. Truthfully, if the information's more than a year old for most things, it's probably outdated. Okay. So eBay now has the time away function. This was one of the things with vacation. So what was happening with vacation settings, what a lot of sellers found when they put their store on vacation, you could either allow your items to be bought or not. Okay. And if not, they're completely blocked. When you completely block your listings, you have to realize what eBay's doing is they're turning off your feed to Google because you don't want anybody shopping with you. So just realize that when you block your listings, that's what's going on. But even people that were not blocking their listings, they were just doing vacation settings, let's say for 5 days or a week, what they found oftentimes coming off vacation was their sales would be very slow for a week, 2 weeks. Some sellers even reported a month. Again, eBay never really said anything about it. This is completely just anecdotal, but I'm just sharing this with you, is that people just said it was incredibly slow coming off vacations. So what a lot of sellers were doing, and I was one of them, when I would go away, for instance, let's say I would go away for eBay Open, which is, if I remember correctly, it was 3 or 4 days in Vegas. And also because I'm in New York and I'm traveling to Vegas, it would end up being like 5 or 6 days with travel time. Rather than put my store on vacation, I would leave my store open. I would edit the handling time. Okay. So instead of having 1 business day handling, which is my handling time, I would go to 5 or 7 or 10, whatever it was. And remember, it's business days. When eBay's talking handling time with business days, a business day for eBay is Monday through Friday. I bring this up. So in case you're going away for a weekend, let's say if you have 1 business day shipping, handling time, if you do your Friday shipping and you're out of town for the weekend and you're going to be back in time to do your shipping on Monday, there's no reason to change handling times. There's no reason to do time away. Okay. So because people were finding issues with store vacation of sales just being incredibly slow when they were coming off vacation, sellers were not using the vacation setting and they were just bulk editing. I really can't talk today, can I? Bulk editing the handling time. Say that one fast. So eBay said, we will help you with this. And the teams got busy working. And I actually got to be on the beta on this. So it was a lot of fun. And they came up with vacation, not vacation, with time away. So old program with stores, vacation, new program for everybody, time away. And what eBay said was, so for instance, I was away for 14 days. So I did time away for 14 days. There's no reason to adjust my handling time. eBay would count it down. So it would show the right amount of handling time depending on the day that I said I was coming back and I would start shipping. Well, this is a huge time saver. I truly remember I'm pretty sure it was an eBay Open. It was either eBay Open or eBay Radio Party. And I went to bulk edit my listings about an hour before I was due to leave the house to grab my plane. And bulk edit handling time was not working. It was completely stuck. And thankfully, I was able to reach out to eBay customer service and explain to them the situation. I think pretty sure it was eBay Open. And they were able to do it for me. So I was like, thank you, thank you, thank you. Because otherwise, my handling time would not have been coordinating with the amount of time that I was away. So the great thing with time away is it automatically adjusts. So if you're setting time away for 5 days, it'll change your handling time so that it's when you get back. You don't have to go in and do bulk edit. There's 2 settings for time away. You can either let your items be available for sale, but your time away has to be 14 days or less. And I'm going to tell you a little something about that. If you do a time away for more than 14 days, automatically your listings are blocked. Okay. You also have the ability to do an automatic message so that eBay will send your buyer a message saying, hi. And they have a thing that's filled out, but you can craft it yourself. And that's what I did, saying, thank you so much for your sale. I'm traveling. I do not tell them what I'm doing. I don't tell them I'm on vacation. I just say I'm traveling. I'll be back, whatever date it is. Your item will ship then. And I do use my first name, and I say Kathy. What I do with time away, and I did the same thing with vacation, and I did the same thing when I was bulk editing, handling time. If I know, for instance, I'm going to be back on the 14th, I tell them I'm going to start to ship on the 15th. Okay. And what this allows me is I'd rather always over deliver. So they're expecting the item to go out on the 15th and it actually goes out on the 14th. Also, that way, if I get back, if I'm stuck in traffic, I live in New York City, if something gets delayed, I'm still okay. So I always date it like an extra day just to give me a little wiggle room. I just find that's a good idea. And particularly if you're coming in from international, I just know for myself, sometimes when I'm coming, particularly when I'm flying in the winter, coming in from somewhere warm, like I'm coming from Florida or I'm coming in from the Caribbean, is that I'm going to run into weather. Sometimes I'm going to run into snow and I can get delayed for a day. So that's why always, a day, 2 days, where you live, if you're in Chicago, Kansas City, Houston, what the weather typically is the time of year that you're traveling. So just factor that in. I'd always rather err and say it's going to ship 2 days later than it actually does, and then wow them by shipping a day or 2 early. Now, what I do with time away, and I did the same thing with vacation, even though eBay is auto messaging them the message that I have created, every single buyer I message personally with the contact buyer button. And I say, hi, I'm traveling. Your item will ship X day. Just like the auto message, Kathy, I don't say, do you want to cancel? I don't say, I'm so sorry, your item's not going to ship for a week or 2. I let them know when it's going to ship. I give them the date it's going to ship. I let them know I'm traveling, and I put my name on it. First of all, it's always astounding to me. I get at least, from maybe the 30, 40 messages I send, 3 or 4 people will message me back, have a wonderful time. Thank you so much. I mean, you get the nicest messages back from people. Also, when I do ship, I go out of my way to include a little thank you card. I've got some cute thank you cards. I've got thank you cards that I'll include in it. And I'll just say, thank you so much for your patience. And I'll sign my name, just like a little extra thank you. If you're doing a packing slip, maybe a little extra note, just saying, again, thank you for your patience, whatever you want to say. But I find it's a nice little extra acknowledgement because they have waited 3 days, 4 days, a week, 2 weeks, whatever it is. Now, this is my hot tip for you with time away. Oh, and so, I did it. What I found with time away, a couple of things. And I'm a variety seller. So again, every niche is different. If you're selling collectible dolls, you're going to get one set of results. If you sell auto parts, it's going to be something else. If you sell commodity, like things that are UPC barcoded, and you have a lot of competitors, it's going to be another thing. So for yourself, when you're traveling, notice what it does for your sales. What I found was my sales were about half of what they normally are. I was fine with that. I mean, I was very, very pleased. The sales were pretty steady. I found that pretty much every day I got some sales. I only had one cancellation. Everybody else was fine to wait. So that was it. It was about half. And that's about normal when I travel, when I used to do the bulk edit with the extra handling time. So I continued to get sales. My sales did not flatline. And it was about half of normal. When I got back, so this is what I do. I was going to be gone for 2 weeks. I sell a lot. I mean, I'm very blessed. I've got a great store. I optimize my listings. I do a lot of social media. So I'm blessed with a wonderful business. It's also a business that I've worked very hard for. And I do have optimized listings, and I do a lot of social media to drive traffic. And if you're following me, I have lots of tips. So look on my website. I've got lots of tips to help you with that. Okay. So I knew I was going to come back to a lot of sales. The other thing is that I had several speaking engagements and client things I needed to do when I got home. So it was not like I could come home and ship for 12 hours straight. So what I did was I was going to be gone for 14 days. So after, I think it was the first day of my vacation, I ended my time away. I took my laptop with me. I ended my time away and I started it again. And I did this 3 times. So that way, when I got home, and I got home on a Tuesday, I shipped Tuesday, I shipped Wednesday, and I shipped Thursday. I broke my shipments into 3 days. That way, when I got home, I wasn't doing like 50, 60 packages in one day. Okay. For you, it might be 30 packages or 20 packages or 10 packages or 100 packages, whatever it is. If you're away for more than 3 or 4 days, and when you come back, you have things going on, and we all have different things going on. You might have elder care. You might have home renovations going on. You might have kids going back to school. You might have doctor's appointments. Think about your day. If your shipping is typically taking you an hour a day or 2 hours a day, when you come off a time away, it's going to be double, triple, or quadruple that. And think through what is going to be a blessing to you. So I split it over 3 days. So what I did was I ended the time away, and I was praying I wasn't going to get a sale. But I mean, I did it really quickly. Hi, Diana. Breaking up the shipping over several days is a great idea. Yes, for me. And you feel that way, like you really want to get it out, but I'm going, I know my post office is quick. I take everything in person. I'm letting them know, and I'm still shipping a day faster than I'm letting them know because, again, I'm exceeding their expectations. But for myself, it just helps me coming off a vacation. I mean, you're relaxed. And at least for me, I was by a lake and I was taking lots of long walks. And then I come back. And I have come back from vacations and from eBay conferences and literally done shipping for 10 hours a day. And I just completely burnt myself out. It's not loving to me. It's not taking care of me. I'm taking care of my customers. I'm shipping within the expectation because I've reset the time away. So, it was that 14 days, and then I stopped it. And then I stopped another one for 14 days, and then I stopped it. And then I started another one for 14 days so that I would still be with my handling time, and I would still be shipping on time because of the way I set up the time away. So that works. So if you're going to be gone, let's say 15, 16 days, and you still want your items to be on sale and not blocked, because remember, if you do a time away longer than 14 days, they're blocked. Set it, stop it, set it, stop it, set it, stop it. Okay. And again, I messaged every single buyer. And the minute I got back that day, I literally unpacked, and like the first third of the items went out that first day. But consider when you're out of town for more than a week, how much you're going to be packing and what's going to be going on when you get home. Also, I tested. I had lots of testing this time. Oh, so my sales continued while I was on time away. Also, because this was a big reason why people used to do bulk edit and not vacation, my items were available for sale. I did not block them. I don't think I've ever, I think maybe early on with mom being sick a lot, I would block sales, but I have not blocked my sales for a long time. The other thing I found when I got back, took off the time away, which I did not take off until I was home for 2 days. When I took it off, sales were slightly slow for about 24 hours, and then they really started to pick up. And again, I am very active with my items on social media. So posting on Facebook business page, they're also going out on Pinterest. The other thing I'm a big fan of is get in there immediately, start doing your send offer to buyers as soon as you get back. And also take a look at, for people that have an eBay store, look at your promotions manager and do some nice sales when you get back. Immediately, get going on that. And don't forget with sales, that you can set them up in advance. So for instance, if I know I'm going to be back August 1st, I could start a sale. I don't want to start at August 1st just in case I'm a little late for some reason, but you could start a sale, let's say August 2nd, a really nice sale, and get things going. Hi, Angela. Thanks for joining me from Florida. So time away, winner. I kept my items available for sale. The sales were about 50%, which, please, there's a lot of platforms. If you go on vacation, your items are blocked. I mean, you don't get to sell at all. So sales. I messaged everybody. Again, some really nice, it's so wonderful. You get these very sweet messages saying, have a wonderful time. Thank you so much. Don't worry. That's great. I mean, buyers love communication. I'm just thrilled. Again, I had one person cancel on me. They were like, I need it right away. And I'm like, okay, I understand. And I gave them their money back. No problem. So that was my experience with time away, was just winner. But again, when you come back, think of some things you can do to help generate traffic. And that's going to be social media. That's going to be promotions manager. That's going to be the send offers to buyers. And don't forget all the wonderful coupon functions that we have now too. Okay. Now, to keep your sales going 12 months a year, absolutely, there are things that sell year round. Christmas sells year round. Easter sells year round. All the holidays sell year round. Okay. Also, the seasons sell year round. So like this is more of a spring thing, right? Because it's short sleeve. Even though here in the Northeast, I'm in New York, it's going to be fall, winter. And in fall, winter, I'm looking for wool, and I'm looking for warmer clothes, and I'm looking for sweaties and hoodies. When you're shipping internationally, which I do, realize it's always spring and summer somewhere. So you always want to be listing your spring, summer items. You always want to be listing your Christmas items, and you always want to be listing your fall, winter items. At the same time, particularly here in the United States, right now through like mid-September is back to school. And no matter what is going on in the world, no matter what the different challenges we face, the kids are back at school, whether it's virtual or in person. And it is a multi-billion-dollar retail event. It is mammoth, okay? And it's not just in the United States, around the world, but particularly in the United States. It's a huge shopping season. The other thing about back to school is that while parents are shopping, right? So I'm on there and I'm shopping for my son. You shop for yourself, very much like the holidays. I'm shopping for a gift for hubby, but let's treat ourselves. So keep that in mind with back to school, where you may go, what, I don't sell backpacks. Yes, but while they're shopping for backpacks, they're going to come in and look for the eBay pink t-shirt. Look for the wonderful water bottle, which, by the way, is a great back to school item. It's not just pens and Sharpies, and it's not just electronics. Back to school is huge, and it is just about every category. Think about the kids in the dorms and the sheets and the towels and all that kind of thing that they need. So what I've done is I've created a back to school list to help you. And if you don't know, my background is retail. I did brick and mortar retail in New York for well over 25 years. So the retail seasons I know really, really well. So if you go onto my website, ilovetobeselling.com, it's going to look like this. In the upper right-hand corner, it says free tips, and you're just going to click free tips. Let's see if it shows. Yes. And right now it's showcasing my tip sheet. Sorry about that. For eBay open, and feel free to grab that. But right below is the ultimate guide to back to school products. Grab it. It is absolutely free. It is pages and pages and pages of products that are hot sellers for back to school and things that you might not think of. Because again, when you shop for your kids or for yourself, you might, for instance, just be buying papers and books and pens and erasers, and you forget, for instance, with college, all the items that parents buy for their kids for college. And I actually was at a huge retail event for back to school in New York City and got to see, because it's fascinating. And I was there working with some vendors, and I got to see, because this is what I watch. What I watch when I'm in retail stores, and it's a retail shopping event. So this was a back to school event for major colleges in New York City. Okay. And there's a bunch of them. Was to watch the parents and to watch the college students. And a lot of times the parents would have one cart and the college student would have another cart. And the student is putting in certain things and mom and dad are putting in other things because they gave them coupons. And I would look in the cart because I wanted to see what they were putting in their cart, what they were choosing to buy. It was absolutely fascinating. So a lot of the ideas that I got from watching shoppers, and when you're in retail stores, look at the displays, but look at what people are putting in their carts. That's what you're interested in. Not just how pretty everything is, but what are they actually buying? Okay. So hop over to my website, ilovetobeselling.com, and grab the ultimate guide to back to school products. And if you do need to take a break, or when you're blessed to take a wonderful vacation, or something comes up and you need to take a break from your selling, time away is a winner. And by the way, you can do it off of mobile. You can do it off your phone, because I was just checking, and you can totally do it off your phone. Or you can do it off your desktop. But absolutely, it's a winner, winner, winner. What I found was, with my items available for sale, I did sell. And with a little bit of juicing, I got right back into business and was right back to my normal sales level within 24 hours of being back. Okay. So no more need to bulk edit your handling time. When you do time away, eBay's doing it for you. And it is available with and without an eBay store. So thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.